Good morning, everybody. My name is Mark Lazell. I'm the business website director at Healy Consultants Group in Singapore. I have with me this morning Grace Odhiambo, a regular visitor to this podcast. She's the Senior Client Engagement Manager, and she's based in our office in Johor Bahru in Malaysia. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning, Mark.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. I'm good, thank you, Grace. Everything is good with the world. And today we're going to be talking briefly, I believe, about an engagement you worked on in Korea. Just to give the listeners a bit of background, I believe that normally we would get involved in the early stages of any engagement with the incorporation of a company and all the bits and pieces that go with that. I believe that this was not the case for this engagement, that you picked up the engagement at a fairly late stage and provided only a relatively few services for our client. Will you just explain to us what it entailed, what the scope of our engagement was?
Sure. So just to give you a brief overview, one client engaged us early this year to assist them with setting up a crypto trading company in Korea and open a bank account for this entity, and also to appoint a representative that will be based in Korea, which is a requirement for opening accounts for such an entity in Korea. Okay. So I took over the engagement from one of our previous staff members while she was leaving the company. So she handed over in the final stages when the company had already been set up. So I just project managed until the final stage where we hand over every document and all the seals, the company seals and everything to the client as a company kit. Yes.
Okay, and so how long did this engagement take, Grace? From, obviously you took it over from a former staff member, but your portion of the engagement, what was the sort of time frame we were looking at? And also I'd be interested to know what sort of challenges, if any, you faced during this phase of the engagement.
Okay, let's start off with the time frame. I think from the time I took over to the end of the engagement was less than a month.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure how long, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, but it was definitely less than a month. Everything had already been set up because our client traveled to Korea and met up with our partner in Korea and signed all the registration forms. Usually we will supply the client all the registration documents within 2 weeks of him providing us all the due diligence that we request. So this was no different. Everything went smoothly. There was no hiccups, no unfortunate situations. The company was registered on time and all the business registration documents were then handed over to the client. In terms of challenges, there was a situation where the client didn't originally understand that he cannot run his company in Korea if he doesn't have a residence visa. So we had to explain this to the client. But then he went ahead to proceed with the residence visa application on his own because he was already in Korea. Okay. Yeah.
Very good. So as we stand today, Grace, we have a satisfied client to a large extent. We've completed the engagement. Any other takeaways from the engagement? Is this your first career engagement, Grace, or have you worked on career before?
This was my first career engagement, but I do have one that is ongoing. It's just the client that I'm handling at the moment had a bit of a situation back home in Russia. So we had to put the engagement on hold for a while because I believe someone may have passed away in the family, so they were handling that. So I am doing another career engagement, so I'll soon be back with another podcast.
Okay, well, we're looking, and hopefully we can do it in the Korean language next time, perhaps, Grace. Hopefully you'll be an expert by then.
Definitely.
Okay, Grace, I'm not going to take any more of your time. Thank you for your inputs this morning, and we look forward to sharing it with our listeners.
Yeah, sure. And before we go, Mark, I think we should tell our listeners that for those who have been supporting us from the beginning, we appreciate your support. And if anyone who just stumbled upon this podcast and would like to continue listening to such content. We do upload such content once or twice a week, Mark, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
So for those who are interested in business-related content, different jurisdictions, different engagements, they can subscribe or they can follow and click on the like button. And yeah, we always provide regular content.
Everybody, welcome to Grace Odhiambo, our marketing manager. Thank you, Grace.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you for your time. We'll speak soon.
Thank you, Mark.
Bye-bye.
Bye.